All right, hats off to Buffalo. Um, Excellent game plan. Came in from the beginning. Went right at us. Same, very similar as Kent State. Let's just go right at these guys, take their heart. We did not respond. We did not have fight. Um, I just said on the radio, as disappointed as I've been since the day I got off the plane in Indianapolis after we lost in the Sweet 16. There's been a lot of work done by this team over the last couple months to put themselves in a position to play in front of a crowd like we did again tonight. And then to put that type of effort on the floor is as embarrassing of a performance that you can have. So disappointed in our team right now would be an understatement.
Coach, you said it was similar to how last game went with the opponent kind of punched you guys in the mouth. Did you guys try anything differently to start the game?
Lot of you just one-on-one drives. Our gap help wasn't good enough, but there was some where you can't get beat like that. There's no help in the world that can stop that. I mean, they're just driving right around us like we weren't even there. You give up 91 points. You give up 60% shooting. You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen that. We gave up 69% the second half, 60% for the game. That's really that's hard to do. I'm not sure we can shoot 70% when we go 5-0. So that's really disappointing.
Coach, it also seems like you guys last couple of games have been sloppy to start and then kind of corrected that in the second half. How do you guys start doing that at the start of the game to not?
Well, I tell you what, if I had to answer that question, we would have performed better today. I think we lack. Winning, Gus, kind of masks a lot of your deficiencies. Okay, and losing probably overexposes some of those deficiencies. So it's probably not ever as good as you think when you're winning, and it's never as bad as you think. Right now sitting here in front of you. But there's been some things that have started to creep up and rear their head, and things that we've got to correct immediately. There's still a lot of season left, like this, but we've got to get things fixed in a hurry to get back to playing basketball the way we're capable of playing. And we need to have more leadership from the players, and we need to have stronger leadership from the players, and we got to do a better job as coaches demanding that. And until they fill that role, we got to do a better job of filling that role. But good teams are always player-led, not coach-led. And I thought we were moving in that direction for some time, and I let some things slip that I've got to correct.
Coach, at one point you had the lead back down to 9, but then Buffalo kind of went back on the run and closed it off. What kind of happened there?
Well, I think we took a bad shot or two, a rush shot or two. That's where we got to keep our composure a little bit and not force. But I thought we were offensive sensitive the whole night. We get beat on a drive, we get embarrassed. We try to go get a ball back at one time instead of just allowing the offense to work and get good shots. But our defense, like this, has got to be. Kent State was our worst defensive performance of the year, according to the efficiencies, and we just went out and topped that. I'm serious. When we go 5-0, we don't make 7 out of 10 shots. I'm dead serious about that. I watch it every day. We go 5-0 and we can't give up. We can't make 7 out of 10 shots when we go through our stuff and don't just shoot all layups. And we gave up 69% the second half. That is unbelievably bad.
Coach, obviously, Duran, kind of kept you guys in it for a little while, but it seemed like 2 timeouts in particular, you guys had some one-on-one talks. What were those about?
I just, he is an alpha male on this team, and he's really the only guy that'll speak. You know, getting some of these guys to talk is difficult. You know, I've tried to empower a couple guys in some leadership roles, and they're probably just not ready for it yet. You know, and he's the one guy that's played a lot of college basketball. Boogie's got a really high basketball IQ. You know, so I mean, he's got his own deficiencies, but he's got a really high basketball IQ. Like, you can sit down and have a real basketball conversation with him. He understands it. He sees things. You know, him and I were more talking about why we are where we are right now and what we need to do to fix it. You know, he's in that locker room every day. He knows. He understands. You know, we have a relationship where we can speak honestly with each other, and you know, he's got a good feel for what's going on. He knows.
Coach, we've spoken about winning in front of this home crowd, but tonight was your first home loss of the season. Just how does that feel to lose like this?
Well, it's not the loss; it's our performance. You know, like I said, like you work for months, and these guys have been unbelievable. You can't take that away from them. Like, what they've done, you can't ever take that what they accomplished up until this point away from them. But like I told them, that it takes months to build, and you can tear it down. You know, just like that. It's just like building a house. You watch a house get built, right, and it can burn down in an hour. And you know, if I was somebody that paid to watch this team tonight, I wouldn't come back. Hell, I wouldn't even come back for the free beer I'm passing out to watch that. You know, that's where I'm at with it. It is completely embarrassing that we take the floor and perform like that, and I've got to get it fixed.
Coach, back-to-back games where Sparks was pretty quiet. I know you guys are trying to get him the ball in the middle of the floor. You said last game. Seemed like in the second half did more of that, but how do you get him going early?
You know, sometimes his shot attempts are a little bit skewed because of the fouls he draws. Like, you know, you get fouled, it doesn't count as a shot attempt if you don't make it. You know, so you know, he drew 5 fouls again tonight. You know, that gets his field goal attempts up to 10. You know, we got to do a better job of getting him the ball. He's got to do a better job of posting. He's got to do a better job of when he gets it. You know, having a real post move and not just, you know, blowing somebody up. And he's working on that. You know, he's working with Coach Cadino every day to understand double teams and where they're coming from, and you know, recognizing it quicker and being able to get to his spots quicker and then finish. But that's just a young player that, you know, he's in his second time through the league. You know, those other teams do scouting reports too.
Did you like some of the stuff in the second half with him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, there early in the second half, we got some things going. I thought he was a little bit more aggressive. You know, I'm more disappointed in Peyton's defensive effort there in the second half than anything offensively.
Anything else, guys?
Just one more. GJ, you know, I thought didn't take many shots tonight. Didn't take that many against Kent. Do you think he needs to be a little bit more aggressive shooting the ball?
Absolutely. I've been begging him to be aggressive since we started practice. You know, I've given him many examples. You know, I think he can be really good. He's got to, you know, he's got to play with that type of confidence. And he has in some games. I mean, obviously he finished some games for us. We put the ball in his hands. But no, he's got to continue to be aggressive. Like, we're not, listen, we don't have the depth right now to survive nights off by multiple guys. You know, let's be honest, right? And that's why I keep preaching to some of these guys, like, there's a real responsibility of being a good player. You know, and it's difficult. That's why there's not many of them. You know, that's why there's not many good teams. Like, we talked about, you know, the dog days of the season, and you know, the newness of everything is worn off, right? And then you kind of get re-energized, you know, over the holidays because conference play started. This is when it's hard, right? This is where the teams separate themselves. That's why there's only, you know, 25% of the teams in college basketball I'd consider good. Like, if you're in the top 3 or 4 of your league, you're probably good at your level, right? Everybody else is at the bottom. That's why there's way more down there because of this. Like, it's hard. It's hard to be a good team. It's hard to show up every day and compete. It's hard to be able to block out the noise, whether it's positive or negative. It's hard to show up and get treatment when your body needs treatment. You know, it's hard to get up and, you know, after practice and still continue to handle your academics. You know, it's hard to study extra film. It's hard to get in the gym and get extra shots. That's why there's not many good teams. You know, it's hard to be able to put your own agenda, all right, on the back seat and do and operate for what's best for the team. That's really difficult. And it's getting more and more difficult the longer that I've been in coaching. Just the things have changed and what young people have been enabled to do. That's why, you know, you see what you see today in college basketball is happening all over the place. You know, and we've still got an opportunity. I still believe we can be a good team, but we've got a few things that we've got to fix here very quickly.
Last one, Coach. You had 8 turnovers in the first, only 3 in the second. How were you able to clean that up, and
Yeah, I mean,
were
it's-
there any positives you could take away from
You know, like you can't give up 91 points. The turnover, like the things that I mean, we turned the ball over 4 times. I think our first 5 possessions, 5 or 6 possessions. You know, I knew right then that we were not wired up to compete the way that we needed to compete. And then it just, you know, you just get driven and driven and driven and just snowballs. And so, like I said, there's some things that need to get corrected around here, and we'll get to work to do that. Thanks, guys.